Why do ancient sages say, "The highest realm of life is solitude"? From the moment we are born, we are independent beings. No one can accompany you throughout your entire life. People can only be by your side for a certain period. Therefore, everyone will experience loneliness at times. It's a solitary journey, a starless night sky, making the empty feel lonely. But it allows the wise to become profoundly introspective. In The Way of Heaven, Zhuangzi says, emptiness, stillness, tranquility, indifference, silence, and non-action are the roots of all things. According to Zhuangzi, solitude is the root of all things, and only in solitude can one truly feel life and understand oneself better. Hence, ancient sages were often lonely. In every era, there are always those who follow their hearts, spending their lives thinking and doing things in solitude until one day they peacefully depart. 1. Solitude is a high place, and high places are often cold. People who have visited Tibet say that on the snow-covered plateau facing the peaks rising from the sky and the eternal glaciers, one can experience wonderful dreams and terrifying mysteries. Wandering in a high place, you can enjoy the ultimate scenery. Solitude will surround you, and at that moment, you can experience a different life. Zhuangzi said, "Work at sunrise, rest at sunset, and enjoy leisure between heaven and earth." 2. Solitude is a kind of indifference. Solitude is often our own choice. It's a state of not following the crowd, not envying worldly prosperity, not flattering the hustle and bustle of the mundane world, but being at ease and peaceful with your own world. We come into this world with nothing and leave with nothing, so life, no matter what, is solitary. Liang Shikyu once said, "Loneliness is a kind of happiness." Solitude can make people feel an elegant and leisurely state. In the quiet mountains during the rainy night, all things are silent. In The Four Seasons of Life, there's a poem. With a broad mind, one avoids the mundane world and naturally finds a quiet and secluded place, meaning solitude can allow us to enjoy life more efficiently, pursue inner purity, and a rich spiritual life. Solitude means a light travel, without distractions, passing through 1,000 flowers without a single leaf touching you. All encounters in life are like the four seasons wind. After experiencing storms, you remain your true self. 3. Solitude is the highest enjoyment in life. Only by enjoying solitude can the impurities in the soul be purified, the filth of the soul be washed away, and positive thoughts be cultivated. Therefore, enjoying solitude is understanding life. Zhuangzi said, "When one can wander in the abode of all things, see things as things and not let things see oneself as a thing, then how can one be burdened?" In the Western Jin dynasty, there was a man named Xia Tong in the south of the Yangtze River. He was very good at reading poetry and books, extremely intelligent, and had many opportunities to become an official, but he didn't want to and only desired a simple life. The Grand Commandant Jia Chong saw Xia Tong's talent and wanted to invite him to be an official, but Xia Tong politely refused. Jia Chong was not satisfied, so he sent a grand army and splendid carriages past Xia Tong, but Xia Tong ignored the luxurious scene. Jia Chong then summoned a group of graceful beauties to sing and dance in front of Xia Tong, but Xia Tong remained unmoved. Seeing this, Jia Chong couldn't help but feel puzzled and said, "There are such strange people in the world. He truly is a wooden man with a heart of stone." Later, the idiom "wooden man with a heart of stone" was used to describe a resolute will, unaffected by external things. In the late Ming and early Qing periods, there was a book titled The Way of Explaining People that clearly described human desires. All day long, running around for food, once full, thinking about clothing. when food and clothing are sufficient, wanting a beautiful wife. After marrying a beautiful wife, resenting the lack of land and foundation, buying large fields and gardens, coming and going, but lamenting the lack of boats and horses, with a place full of donkeys and horses, lamenting the lack of official positions and being looked down upon, becoming a county magistrate, despising the small official position, wanting to wear brocade robes in court. If people's desires were satisfied, it would only be a dream. 4. Only by enduring solitude can one maintain youth. Only by enduring solitude can one achieve calmness, not be surprised by special favors or cruel insults, which will make a difference. Only by enduring solitude can you focus long-term on what you truly love, not blame others, not despise yourself, not change your mind. Continue towards your set goals, and you will succeed. But all successful people usually go through a period of solitude without support or help. This period is the crucial stage of breaking through personal limits, like the darkness before dawn. After passing through, the sky will be bright. Someone once asked a Zen master, if a carp cannot jump over the dragon gate, what should it do? The Zen master replied, cultivate oneself in the cold waters of the deep. The person asked again, what if the carp jumps over the dragon gate? The Zen master replied, if it can jump over the dragon gate, the carp will turn into a dragon flying into the sky with other fish unable to catch up. The person asked, then what? The Zen master answered, if a dragon flies in the clouds, it will rain to nourish the world. Everyone has their circumstances. When you fall into the depths, you must endure solitude. Overcoming life's difficulties, facing losses, suffering, disadvantages, or benefits, can people treat them with kindness? If so, it will be like a carp turning into a dragon one day. Lu Ji of the Jin dynasty in The Tiger's Roar said, thirst does not drink the water of the Tao spring. Heat does not rest under the shade of the evil tree, meaning only by maintaining calmness and tranquility in the face of immediate desires can you feel the deep joy of solitude. The noble realm, tranquility breeds wisdom. In life, a person with a calm and stable mind will not rejoice over gain, not grieve over loss, not get angry when insulted without reason, and not fear when facing urgent matters. They can adapt, remain calm in loss, indifferent in gain. This requires a generous heart, not fixating on victory or defeat. Thus, a calm heart like water is a manifestation of wisdom. It is said, tranquility is a blessing. All life's troubles stem from desires, greed, and restlessness. The allure of material things, fame, wealth, and emotions traps people. In ancient times, many literati could achieve the state of a calm heart like water. Li Bai drank wine and gazed at the moon. Tao Yuan Ming plowed the land and grew chrysanthemums. In life, many people wish for peace of mind, but few realize that pure and calm are closely related. When a person's mind is calm, their wisdom can have a great effect. Conversely, when a person's mind is anxious and restless, wisdom cannot arise. In the novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, after Zhuge Liang lost at Jiding, he received news that Sima Yi was leading 150,000 troops to attack Xicheng. At that time, Zhuge Liang had only 2,500 soldiers to defend the city. But Zhuge Liang didn't panic. He calmly took 2 young attendants to hold a lute and leaned on the city parapet to play. Sima Yi led his troops to Xicheng, puzzled by the sight, and listened to Zhuge Liang's music for a while before ordering a quick retreat. Zhuge Liang's calm and unruffled music scared Sima Yi into retreating. This is called being unshaken even if Mount Tai collapses before one's eyes. Such extraordinary poise is beyond ordinary people. An ordinary person, when faced with failure, feels disappointed. When hurt by others, feels pain. When slandered, feels wronged. When tempted by material desires, feels confused. When betrayed, feels anger. When faced with life and death choices, feels fear. In fact, all these are manifestations of insufficient calmness and result from inadequate cultivation. A truly enlightened person will not become discouraged by difficulties, will not panic in times of trouble, will not fear danger, will smile in the face of slander, and will respond with compassion to betrayal, remaining calm and free regardless of the circumstances. Only when one understands the essence of life can they achieve such a state of tranquility. Laozi taught, "The highest good is like water," and Confucius said, "The wise find pleasure in water, the benevolent find pleasure in mountains." Clearly, water has many great qualities for people to learn from. A calm heart, like water, brings the highest purity to the soul, elevates character, and nurtures compassion. A person who can cultivate the state of a calm heart like water will have pure lotus flowers blooming in their heart, indicating they have attained the way.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
2. The loneliness of the highly intelligent. People often wonder why they should endure loneliness when technology makes human connection so easy and convenient. However, the reality is that all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. The social fabric of loneliness. The American Psychological Association, APA, has pointed out that loneliness can significantly increase the risk of sudden death, even more so than obesity. A large-scale study which analyzed over 200 smaller studies involving hundreds of thousands of patients found strong evidence that social isolation and loneliness increase the risk of early mortality. The magnitude of this risk surpasses many other health indicators, according to researcher Holt Lundstad. Neurologist John Cacioppo's reports also show that loneliness can lead to increased levels of cortisol, a stress hormone that raises blood pressure and reduces blood flow to vital organs. The brain's response to loneliness can impair the production of white blood cells, diminishing the immune system's ability to fight off bacteria. Countless reports and studies on the harmful effects of loneliness are frequently published in the media. This constant flow of information has led society to regard loneliness as something terrible and frightening. Even thousands of years ago, Aristotle, the ancient Greek philosopher, declared that friendship is essential for a good life. Without friends, we cannot be truly happy. However, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. This profound philosophy was articulated by the brilliant scientist Blaise Pascal, who, after extensive experiences and research in fields like physics, mathematics, fluid mechanics, and probability, later turned to philosophy and theology. According to Pascal, we fear living and existing in silence, fear being insignificant. We despise boredom and dread becoming invisible. As a result, we seek ways to escape emotional issues by deluding ourselves and seeking connections with the outside world. But the main issue is, we have never learned how to be alone. The more modern society becomes, the more accurate Pascal's warning seems. If there is one word that best describes the world's issues over the past century, it is undoubtedly connection. Information technology has overly infiltrated our culture and thinking. From phones to radios, TVs, and the internet, we have thousands of ways to bring people closer together. You can attend a meeting anywhere in the world from your office via Skype. You can stay informed about home from anywhere by browsing the web. While we enjoy countless benefits of connection, it also comes with many downsides. People have extensively discussed these negatives: privacy issues, the internet covertly collecting data, and the excessive time consumption. However, a significant damage that not everyone realizes is we live in a world where everything is connected, except ourselves. The world's oldest philosophies and the greatest sages of all time advise us to know ourselves. Without self-awareness, we cannot build a solid foundation for our lives. All connections with the world are mere temporary interactions, leaving us adrift like a floating leaf on the water. The loneliness of the highly intelligent. From ancient times, those considered sages would retreat to monasteries, mountains, or caves, away from bustling life to live simply. Strangely, these few individuals are not only highly intelligent and morally elevated, but also genuinely happy, freed from the trappings of luxury. However, very few people can live this way. As a result, almost all of us are caught in a paradox, enduring loneliness while lacking time for ourselves. We want to understand ourselves, yet prefer connecting with the outside world over sitting in silence for self-reflection. Internal connection is the most crucial thing we need to do in life. Sadly, too few people genuinely pursue it. Being alone may not solve all problems, but it is the first step to connecting with ourselves, from which we can find ways to address every issue. 3. Thinking of others, a high standard of personal cultivation. In this world, there are always people who handle things only by thinking about their own benefits and reputation, without caring about the thoughts or interests of others. Some enjoy the good things they have without considering that others might not have the same opportunities. Such people are considered by the ancients to lack personal cultivation. Thinking of others as kindness and the cultivation of a wise leader. During the spring and autumn period, one particularly harsh winter, snow fell continuously for 3 days and nights in the state of Kii, making it difficult for people to venture outside. Those who had to leave their homes felt distressed and worried as the difficult conditions affected their daily lives. Everyone hoped for the cold spell to end soon. Meanwhile, Duke Jing of Qi sat comfortably in the palace, wrapped in fur, enjoying the snowfall from his window. He found the snowy scenery beautiful and wished for more snow to enhance the landscape's beauty. At that moment, Yanzi, a high-ranking official, approached him. Duke Jing, delighted, remarked, "Isn't it strange how, despite the snow falling for days, it still feels as warm as spring? Don't you think so?" Noticing the Duke's fur coat and the blazing fire in the room, Yanzi understood why the Duke felt warm. He responded, "Your Highness, how can you say the weather isn't cold?" Duke Jing nodded and smiled, pleased with the response. Yanzi then frankly said, "Your Highness, I have heard that a wise leader thinks of those who are hungry when they are full, considers those who are cold when they are warm, and remembers those who toil when they are at ease. Why do you not think of others?" Hearing Yanzi's words, Duke Jing felt deeply ashamed. Respect for those who consider others. People with personal cultivation use wisdom to manage their affairs and consider others' perspectives, showing respect for them. Personal cultivation is unrelated to degrees, wealth, or status, but is closely tied to whether we respect others. When someone respects us, it's not necessarily because we are great, but because they have personal cultivation. When we think of others, we naturally learn to empathize with them, thereby enhancing our own cultivation. In friendships and interactions, it's important to think of others as well as ourselves. This principle is reflected in the ancient saying, "What you do not wish for yourself, do not do to others. What you wish to establish for yourself, also establish for others. What you wish to achieve for yourself, also help others to achieve." Throughout history, those who consider and respect others are esteemed. The story of Liang Qichao and Yan Fu. Liang Qichao and Yan Fu were renowned scholars during the late Qing dynasty, and they were as close as brothers. Despite their differing opinions and academic views, they always supported each other. In a letter, Liang Qichao even mentioned that Yan Fu was the only one who truly understood and could teach him, aside from his father and teachers. However, over time, their views diverged further, and the gap between them widened. Yan Fu often criticized Liang Qichao, even publicly using harsh words in his works. Despite the constant criticism, Liang Qichao chose to remain silent, refraining from arguing or pointing out Yan Fu's shortcomings. His respect for Yan Fu never diminished. He continued to invite Yan Fu to significant events, demonstrating his enduring respect and consideration for others. Consequently, Liang Qichao was revered by many. The essence of cultivated behavior. In dealing with people, we should emulate Liang Qichao, understanding that we can only see others' outward behavior without truly knowing their struggles. Therefore, whether with family or strangers, we should learn to praise their strengths, tolerate their weaknesses, and empathize with their untold hardships. By thinking of others, we learn to put ourselves in their shoes. This perspective allows us to discover unexpected answers and better understand others' actions and viewpoints. Those with personal cultivation think of others and use compassion and tolerance to help others and themselves. Only those who truly respect and empathize with others can attain high personal cultivation, finding inner peace amidst the world's turmoil. 4. 3 virtues to cultivate for overcoming difficulties. Life inevitably has its ups and downs for everyone. No matter how challenging times may become, it's important not to harbor resentment or anger. If a person can cultivate the following 3 virtues, they will be able to rise and move forward regardless of the hardships they face. 1. Calmness. The famous Song Dynasty writer Su Xun once said, "One act of patience can ward off 100 evils. One moment of calm can subdue 100 disturbances." In a life filled with temptations and challenges, maintaining inner calmness and serenity is essential. How does one achieve inner calm? This isn't something everyone can do easily. It requires a process of self-cultivation. A calm person remains composed in the face of difficulties, indifferent to misunderstandings, and not easily swayed by external events. A calm person understands that haste makes waste. Rushing through tasks often leads to failure. Therefore, they take a step back to consider and weigh their options, rarely regretting their decisions. An old saying goes, "Haste cannot drink hot porridge." Thus, approaching any situation with calmness allows for better judgment and solutions. The more critical the situation, the more calmness is required. Otherwise, things may become more chaotic and even worsen unnecessarily. 2. Humility. Ripe rice bows its head and mature sunflowers do the same. Yet in life, many people do not understand the wisdom of bowing their heads. They prefer to look ahead proudly rather than humbly focus on the path before them. Moreover, humans are not infallible saints, so who hasn't made mistakes? However, once a mistake is made, it should be corrected. Many lack the courage to bow their heads and admit their faults. Mistakes can harm others, and only by bowing their heads can they make amends. Bowing one's head is not a sign of humiliation or inferiority. It shows that one acknowledges their mistake and seeks to correct it. It reflects one's character and self-cultivation, the price one must pay for their errors. Courageously admitting one's mistakes demonstrates intelligence and decisiveness. It signifies high moral standing and noble character. Being able to bend allows one to extend, to retreat before advancing, and to be soft before becoming strong. Only those who know how to bow their heads can lift them high. In life, not all obstacles are grand and spacious. Some require us to bow our heads and lean forward to pass through. 3. Optimism. In difficult and perilous situations, one should maintain a confident demeanor, facing challenges with optimism to find a way out. Complaining and feeling down in tough times only exacerbates the situation. However, lifting one's head high should not mean arrogance or looking down on others. It requires humility and fairness in dealing with people and situations. Raising one's head means recognizing one's strengths and not letting personal shortcomings breed envy towards others' talents. It involves self-awareness and striving for improvement. A person of deep cultivation remains steadfast in adversity, facing life and death, temptations of fame and fortune, without compromising their integrity and principles. This is the true essence of lifting one's head. In today's society, which often values wealth and material success, finding such a person is rare. Yet in this chaotic world, amidst adversity and moral ambiguity, those who resist the temptations of fame and fortune retain their true and kind nature, uphold goodness, and oppose evil are truly noble. Even if they suffer temporary losses, they will ultimately receive blessings. 5. Look down and apologize instead of arguing. When someone makes a mistake or is criticized, is it better to argue intensely or straightforwardly admit the error? Should a person smile and ignore misunderstandings, trusting their own integrity, or should they get angry and fight back? How one reacts to the mistakes and shortcomings of others, whether choosing tolerance, criticism, or even mockery, reveals their moral character. The Confucian text, the Analects, Weiling Gong states, "Be strict with yourself, but lenient with others." In other words, hold yourself to high standards while being forgiving towards others. History is full of wise and noble figures who lived by this principle, such as Fan Shunren. Fan Shunren, a Northern Song dynasty official known as the plain-clothed Prime Minister, was the second son of Prime Minister Fan Zhongyan. Though not as academically gifted as his father, Fan Shunren possessed remarkable integrity. Fan Shunren had a good relationship with Cheng Yi, a Confucian scholar of the Northern Song. One day, Cheng Yi visited Fan Shunren shortly after his retirement. As they reminisced, Fan Shunren expressed nostalgia for his time as prime minister. Cheng Yi bluntly responded, "There were many things you handled poorly back then. Don't you feel ashamed?" Fan Shunren, puzzled, asked what Cheng Yi was referring to. Cheng Yi explained, "In your second year in office, a robbery occurred in Suzhou, where a group seized grain. You should have reported it directly to the emperor, but you stayed silent, leading to severe punishment for many innocent people." Fan Shunren immediately bowed his head and admitted, "Yes, I should have spoken up for the people." Cheng Yi continued, "In your third year, a famine struck Wuzhong, and people were eating plants to survive. Despite multiple reports from local officials, you did nothing." Fan Shunren, deeply ashamed, confessed, "I indeed failed in my duties." Cheng Yi pointed out several other faults, and each time Fan Shunren sincerely accepted responsibility. A few days later, the emperor summoned Cheng Yi to discuss state affairs. Cheng Yi proposed several strategies for governing the nation. The emperor, impressed, remarked, "You have the same integrity as Fan Shunren." Unwilling to be compared to Fan Shunren, Cheng Yi asked, "Did Fan Shunren also offer such advice to your majesty?" The emperor then had a box brought in indicating, "These are all the memorials Fan Shunren submitted to me." Curious, Cheng Yi examined the documents and discovered many addressed the issues he had recently criticized Fan Shunren for. It turned out that Fan Shunrin had indeed advised the emperor, but for various reasons, the advice did not yield the desired results. Yet, Fan Shunrin had humbly accepted all the blame without a word of explanation. Cheng Yi felt deeply embarrassed and thoughtful. The next day, Cheng Yi went to Fan Shunrin's home to apologize. Fan Shunrin smiled and said, "One who is unaware is not guilty. There's no need to apologize." Fan Shunrin once said, "Forgiving others brings endless benefits. Forgiveness means using one's broad-mindedness to tolerate others. When faced with criticism, looking down and apologizing is better than arguing. Humble acceptance often has more power and impact than stubborn explanations." Because of this attitude, Fan Shunrin was admired not only by the emperor, but also by the common people for his tolerance and magnanimity. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time. 6. The simplicity of a high-spirited life. Most people in this world spend their lives chasing after fame, wealth, and material possessions. However, those who reach a higher spiritual state realize that simplicity is a form of happiness that can be easily attained when one does not obsessively pursue material things. As the saying goes, a 1,000-room mansion can only accommodate a few feet when sleeping at night. A vast expanse of fertile land can only provide 3 meals a day. So, why do people complicate their lives with relentless pursuits instead of embracing simplicity? Today, many people dream of having modern, luxurious material comforts. However, throughout history, countless individuals have worked themselves to exhaustion, believing that wealth and success would bring them happiness. Yet, upon reflection, true happiness is often found elsewhere. Such people exist everywhere. We must ask, have they truly succeeded or failed? If you live your life constantly rushing and chasing after things, do you ever wonder if your soul can keep up with your body? Achieving something you desire might bring great joy, but losing it can cause equal sorrow. The intensity of joy and failure is always proportional. Some people earn money but lose their health, family, or love. Others may not achieve much in their careers but enjoy a high quality of life and excellent health. What may seem unfair is actually quite equitable. It's often thought that wealthy people are the happiest, but this belief is not entirely accurate. A poor person might find joy in spending a small amount of money, while a rich person may need to spend significantly more to experience the same joy. As a person's preferences change, so do their perceptions of everything. The more money one has, the less value it holds, making it harder to find happiness through spending. Many wealthy people feel empty inside. Why is that? A complex life leads to a complex mind. This world works in such a way that the more you possess, the more you are possessed by your possessions. When someone places too much importance on material things and external factors, those very things occupy their inner world, causing spiritual loss. Some even pay a heavy price. Those who have more will lose more, while those who have less will lose less. Those with nothing will lose nothing. The net gain and loss always equals 0, so one should not worry excessively about gains and losses. Those who understand this live simply and naturally, and thus are the happiest. Someone who seeks spiritual peace has the courage to discard inner complexities and not cling to external objects and circumstances. In life, you will meet many people and encounter many situations, some essential and some unnecessary. Greed, vanity, envy, resentment, these are burdens that must be decisively abandoned. Life is a journey of taking steps and letting go bit by bit. The path you need to walk is the way. The burdens you need to discard are the heavy loads. Only then will the journey become longer and the heart grow purer. There's a saying, if in this life you never pick up anything, why talk about putting it down? When someone holds on to too much, they will eventually realize the need to learn to let go. Traditionally, those who aspire to a higher spiritual realm lead pure and simple lives. The simpler one's life, the better they can hear their inner voice. 7. The 7 realms of a person's life. In our busy and noisy modern lives, few people are aware of the highest realms of human existence. Although ancient wisdom has pointed them out, few modern individuals genuinely pay attention, resulting in constant struggles with pain and distress. In reality, only by realizing these truths can we calmly listen to our inner voice, find true peace, and maintain tranquility while accomplishing anything. We can be free of pain even when ill and achieve financial success while keeping a serene mind. 1. The highest realm of life, smiling in the face of adversity. Life is filled with unpleasant events, and the more we resist them, the more exhausted and defeated we become. The wisest among us stay silent and smile in all situations. Even in failure, helplessness, heartbreak, and when faced with mockery and ridicule, a smile is more effective than trying to explain yourself to the world. Ancient people faced criticism by quietly accepting it because letting your emotions be stirred only leads to more chaos and unresolved issues. Trying to argue in a state of anger can often worsen the situation, pushing others away from you. Harnessing the power of a smile to overcome obstacles demonstrates inner peace and tranquility, allowing you to rise above the judgments of others. 2. The high realm of life, enduring pain without complaining. A popular saying among young people today is, don't complain about your hardships to anyone. 80% don't care, and the other 20% are glad you have them. However, this idea has been recognized since ancient times. They understood that suffering is a natural part of life, something everyone goes through. Complaining to others is of no use. It's better to endure silently and wait for the right moment to rise. Truly understanding this requires significant life experience. Those who have faced life's ups and downs know that others' sympathy doesn't help when you're in pain. Ultimately, you must confront your suffering alone. Enduring pain without complaint means observing it, bravely facing it, and using inner strength to overcome it. Sympathy has its limits and is reserved for the closest people in our lives. No one else has the time or inclination to constantly worry about you except yourself. Most of us lack the courage to face our pain, letting fear dominate our minds. In reality, the pain is often not as severe as our complaints make it seem. Therefore, someone who endures pain without complaining shows remarkable strength and deep inner resolve. 3. The high realm of destiny, staying calm in crisis. Panic is a common reaction when facing turmoil, but there are those rare individuals who maintain their composure and peace. This is a high realm worth striving for. The ancients said, when facing great matters, stay unflustered. When encountering great waves, maintain your daily habits. This reflects a calm and composed attitude toward life. People who lose their temper and control during crises often speak thoughtlessly, and anger can harm future opportunities. The softer and more composed you are, the more likely you are to find happiness and peace. Successful individuals maintain a stable mindset in all situations. Those who stay calm under pressure are capable of taking on significant responsibilities and achieving great things for their family and society. Facing large storms, the strength to remain calm and adaptable is essential. This requires daily experience, value accumulation, and self-discipline through life's challenges to mature over time. Be alert when facing any situation. Train yourself to see things clearly and avoid being misled or disturbed by chaos. 4. The highest realm of relationships, knowing when to hold on and when to let go. Holding on too tightly to anything in life only brings pain. Wisdom lies in knowing when to hold on and when to let go. There are things you must let go of, even if you love them deeply. You are unique in this world, so let go gently for the sake of inner peace. Life's nature is impermanence. Those who can't take losses and gains lightly will never find peace. Life constantly changes, and what seems unlosable can slip away in an instant. 5. The greatest wisdom in life: admitting mistakes. People fear revealing their weaknesses, often hiding them. This insecurity leads to a lack of confidence and anxiety. Many fear admitting their mistakes, thinking it shows weakness. However, owning up to your errors and not blaming others earns respect. This understanding comes only to those with wisdom. Those without it will avoid admitting mistakes and may even resent you for suggesting it. Facing your mistakes shows strength. Life isn't perfect, and neither are we. Mistakes and weaknesses are natural and not to be feared or hidden. 6. The high realm of living: optimism. Everyone talks about optimism, but not everyone understands how to apply it correctly. Without wisdom, optimism can turn negative. True optimists understand life, human nature, and see that difficulties are temporary. Illness isn't frightening, and death isn't the end. They calmly accept everything life brings. Their optimism isn't from ignoring reality, but from understanding that cause and effect always exist. Wrong actions lead to consequences, and right actions bring happiness. Life flows with its ups and downs. Joy and sorrow come and go, and nothing lasts forever. Understanding this, they enjoy life, knowing that both happiness and sadness are fleeting. As they mature, they cherish life and its experiences more deeply. 7. The high realm of friendship: not being a burden. Many think that friends must always be close, but everyone has their own worries and responsibilities. Respecting each other's personal space and not being a burden shows understanding. Don't expect friends to always be immediately available. True friends understand each other's situations and don't get upset if they can't be present at every important event. The highest realm of friendship doesn't require constant contact. True friends are like stars in the night sky. Even if you can't see them, you know they're always there. Genuine friendships don't need constant closeness, but always have each other's hearts, ready to support when needed.
If you like this video, please comment 1. And if you don't, comment 2. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.
8. Why did ancient people say, "Those who can be alone become extraordinary"? Accepting and enjoying solitude is a form of profound wisdom. First, one must harmonize with oneself before learning to harmonize with others. Zhuangzi said, "The person who knows how to be alone is truly noble." This implies that those who can embrace solitude become extraordinary and revered. Being alone here refers to a state of freedom, self-harmony, self-improvement, and knowing how to live with oneself. From a young age, we are taught numerous principles about how to coexist with others, integrate into society, and excel within our communities. However, we often overlook the most fundamental truth: our greatest adversary is ourselves. If one can conquer oneself and learn to live in harmony with oneself, that person can conquer anything. Solitude is inevitable. Zhuangzi had a rival named Huizi, with whom he frequently engaged in philosophical debates. Often Huizi found himself at a loss for words, as illustrated in the story, "How can you know the joy of fish?" If you are not a fish. After Huizi's death, Zhuangzi shared a parable describing the loneliness of losing a kindred spirit. A man had a black spot like a mole on his nose. He sought a stonecutter to remove it. The stonecutter skillfully swung his axe, easily shaving off the black spot without even scratching the nose. When Song Yuanjun heard of this, he summoned the stonecutter and requested a demonstration. However, the stonecutter declined. When asked why, he replied, "I used to be calm enough to do it, but now I cannot because my companion has passed away." Like Du Fu and Li Bai, who admired each other's talents and roamed the rivers and lakes together, believing they would journey through life side by side. However, when their aspirations diverged, they had to bid farewell and go their separate ways. Clearly, in the long run, no one can stay with us forever. In reality, being alone is the eternal state of human life. The two most important moments, birth and death, are journeys we take alone. Therefore, we must learn to face solitude and live with ourselves better each day. Choosing solitude is valuable. In Zhuangzi's Great Master, he writes about two stubborn fish lying together in a dry pond, struggling to wet each other to survive. Zhuangzi suggests that rather than struggling to survive like this, it is better to set each other free and seek a new life in the vast rivers and seas. In life, if you have the opportunity to journey with a companion, whether for a month, a year, or 10 years, it is a blessing. But ultimately, only you can complete your journey. You must take charge of your own life before you can live well. Einstein said, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." A person with dreams, actions to realize those dreams, and the ability and greatness to excel must inevitably become different. They dare to step out of the crowd who muddle through each day with trivial dreams like fame, status, houses, cars, degrees, women, or fine wine. The majority are busy trapping themselves in small worries, fearing success is a limited account that requires competition and trampling over others to achieve. In contrast, a person with extraordinary intellect understands that being different means being alone, but also means freedom. In that freedom, talent brings due prosperity. A person with great wisdom does not concern themselves with the chatter of the world. They spend time creating and innovating rather than explaining themselves to the mediocre. Simply put, they are accustomed to the unique mindset of solitude, which, though lonely, is full of value. Success comes from their ability, not from the words or views of the world. Enjoying solitude is a form of wisdom. In Zhuangzi's philosophy, the life's mission is to find oneself and one's path. Perhaps on this journey everyone feels lonely at times, but accepting solitude is the beginning of a fulfilling life. If you cannot harmonize with yourself, you will never harmonize with others. As the German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said, only when a person is alone can they be truly themselves. If someone does not love solitude, they do not love freedom, for only in solitude can one be free. We may journey through life with companions, but we can only walk to the horizon and beyond by ourselves. Enjoying solitude is a gentle, pleasant joy unrelated to material things or hobbies, unaffected by ambition or needs. It comes from an open heart, calm and self-assured. Enjoying solitude is also a form of poise. As we move through life, quickly enjoying the speed, slowly admiring the scenery, not letting vanity blind us or deceit deceive us. It is the poise of a humble, gentle, yet wise and discerning person. Being a sheep can be boring, while the price of being a lion is solitude. Similarly, to gather together, be grass, to be a towering tree, accept loneliness. 9. Why are smart people often lonely? At the end of a busy day or week, how people choose to spend their evenings and weekends reveals their true selves. Many people prefer lively places, so they go shopping, hit the bars, chat online, or hang out with friends. Meanwhile, there's a type of person who doesn't care about the outside world and prefers to retreat to a quiet corner to explore their own world. Have you ever looked at yourself and realized you belong to this type? In life, smart people often prefer to be alone. Because of this, they are often labeled as lonely. Of course, everyone has a different lifestyle. This isn't a measure of whether someone is exceptional or intelligent. But being alone is a state these people actively choose. They're willing to escape the noisy crowd, avoid worthless relationships, and maintain a calm mind to pursue their own goals. From a certain perspective, solitude is also a destination their souls constantly seek. Why do intelligent people behave this way? Psychological research has drawn the following conclusions. 1. It's lonely at the top. Truly talented individuals are rare, and in a crowd it's hard to find two equally strong people without a fierce struggle for dominance. Smart people who dislike conflict often avoid this situation because winning sometimes leads to isolation. Choosing to be alone is a way to reduce meaningless struggles. 2. Freedom in solitude. Most social relationships are useless, often just a group of people gathering to dispel their own loneliness. Immersing in this kind of socializing for too long binds time and the mind. So, smart people let go of this chain, facing themselves freely and spending most of their time alone. 3. Not worried about gains and losses. Intelligent people don't follow the crowd, don't like engaging in meaningless conversations, and don't care about worldly gossip. They focus on what they believe is right and refine valuable things. Therefore, they never fear missing out because they've already abandoned a part of society. 4. Keen observational skills. You can find people who quietly observe everything around them from a corner. Although they don't express much verbally, their brains are highly active, evaluating all aspects of life and people's expressions. 5. Disinterest in drama. They know that life's events can cause unnecessary worries and disturbances. Living for oneself is already busy enough, so there's no need to invite more trouble. Others can think what they want. Smart people feel no need to seek validation from everyone and avoid unnecessary drama. 6. No need to prove themselves. When a person is independent and strong, they appreciate the small things in life and are content with the present. They can support themselves and don't need to prove their worth to anyone. 7. Selective in friendships. Intelligent people maintain relationships they value and don't easily let new people into their circle unless they share similar values and perspectives. 8. Their abilities. Intimidate others. Outstanding individuals often do things alone because they can handle everything, whether it's a hospital visit or dining out, activities many believe shouldn't be done alone. They aren't afraid to speak the truth or face opposition. 9. Difficult to understand. Most geniuses are considered eccentric, often displaying behaviors and actions that are hard to understand, even alienating them because they're so unusual. The difference in perception and experience means few truly understand and accept them. 10. Focused on their goals. Dreams and visions of the future can become a joke when shared with those who don't understand. Thus, casual, purposeless socializing doesn't exist in their world. People may always see them as tense, but they might just be focused on their goals. Ultimately, smart people don't need to adapt to social changes through numerous interactions. Some are destined to be lonely for life, but this isn't sad because it might be their path to greatness. So instead of saying smart people are often lonely, think of it as smart people choosing solitude. Therefore, If you have only a few friends, enjoy walking alone, living happily by yourself, and feel okay with it. You might be quite extraordinary. 10. The true strength of solitude. According to Zhuangzi, coming alone, leaving alone, represents the highest state of life. Those who reach this state are like unparalleled masters who, after a period of secluded cultivation, become invincible. Being alone is about gathering all your energy to conquer your flaws. It marks the beginning of true strength. Solitude brings peace. In the book Zhuangzi, it is written, "The vast, majestic universe does not speak. The seasons follow their clear rules without discussion, and all things contain reason without display." The world indeed holds great truths, but from ancient times to now, it has always been quiet and effortless. Only those with restless hearts prefer constant noise. No one in this world can avoid solitude. Born alone, we die alone. We reunite and part, with no one to accompany us forever. Talking to others may alleviate loneliness, but it cannot cure it. The more you speak, the emptier you may feel. When you stop talking, the loneliness returns. Some things are better digested alone rather than shared, as sharing can sometimes turn into a joke. Don't waste the time meant for yourself. Only when the noise stops and fears are gone can you understand how to change the situation. Solitude leads to self-understanding. Some say that only by crossing the desolate Gobi Desert can one find a clear spring. Life is a long journey we walk alone. Idle talk is less valuable than maintaining a calm heart. Solitude is self-discovery. It is said that crowded gatherings are full of lonely people, while a solitary person is free. When alone, you can see your true self and free your inner being. People who enjoy socializing are often searching but rarely find a true confidant. Those who appear indifferent in solitude actually understand themselves and are their own best companions. Being alone allows us to spend time on ourselves and do what we want. It can be more comfortable and free. People who are always polite often live tired lives, bending to others' expectations, making themselves small. Life is precious, so don't waste it on meaningless chatter. True solitude avoids external interference and maintains inner freedom. Solitude strengthens. There is a saying, either be solitary or be ordinary. Those who rely on themselves must bear all storms alone. Don't fear difficult situations because anything that doesn't defeat you will make you stronger. Every successful person has struggled against the current, walking alone through tough times. Behind glorious moments are pain and tears. Learn to endure solitude and turn it into a habit like an eagle. Otherwise, you become a sheep following the crowd, valuing group safety. After a period of solitary practice, one's mind becomes steadfast and wisdom shines. Then, one's work approach becomes like military strategy, swift as the wind, gentle as the forest, aggressive as fire, immovable as a mountain, unpredictable as the night, and shocking as thunder. Those who walk alone are formidable figures, rarely failing in life. Being alone is the best way to strengthen yourself. Throughout history, sages have favored solitude, and truly strong people tend to walk alone. Solitude gives us time to observe ourselves, away from the hustle and bustle of society, returning to peace. Being alone makes us resilient, not reliant on others' strength, and unaffected by others' opinions. So cherish your time alone, live true to yourself, and achieve greatness within the finite time you have. If you find these stories inspiring and they motivate you to take action, please comment 9. If not, comment 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.